Okay, so a special tuning note with this. For our purposes here, just to keep it nice and simple and accessible for everyone to just jump right in, I'm just going to be in a standard tuning, E, A, D, G, B, E. But if you're trying to play along with the recorded version, just know that they're going to be a half step lower. So they would be in like an E flat style. So just every single string down a half step. So if you want to match the exact recorded key, that's what's happening there. But like I said, for us, I'm going to keep it simple here and just be in a regular standard tuning. And for the intro here, we definitely want to hit like these bass riffs happening, because that's essentially what a lot is happening for the most of the intro here. So we'll start here by doing this B minor to F sharp minor. That's kind of like the progression for the whole deal here. And initially we're picking through A and D string here. So like I said, this will work for bass as well. We do 2 on the A, 4D, open, 2A, 2D, open, and then we do 4 open on the A. Alright, and that cranks through maybe like 4 times initially, and then it starts this kind of like 2, then 2, 2, then 2. The second half of it, the F sharp minor version, it's the same exact thing, just up a set of strings, alright, the lower set. So, 2E, 4A, open A, 2E, 2A, open A, 4E, open. Okay, same deal, just up there. And like I said, those two just kind of alternate like that a couple times each. Eventually we'll get some guitar chiming in, just with some little like lead accents. And we'll do this 2, 4 on the G a few times. Something like that, just goes a couple notes there. Does that a few times. And then it scales it down to the F sharp minor where we go 3B, 4G, 2, 2D, 4D. Right, it lands on the F sharp minor. And then it'll do the 2, 4D a couple times, throws in a little curve with a 2G, 4D. Alright, then does the 2, 4D again. Scales it up to the B minor now. 2, 4, G, hammer on there, 3B, do a little bend and release on the 5 of the B to 3. Okay, just a little something like that. And then cranks through that whole thing a handful of times, and then just finishes on a F sharp minor chord. So just bar the 2s here with the 4 on the A and D. Maybe just go down to the B string is fine. Lets it ring. And then we kind of get into our next section here where the guitar does this B note, so just 4G, and then picks through the B minor where we go 4G, 3B, 2E. Kind of lets that hang. And then it starts off this high kind of lead riff, which is, for the most part, mimicking what the bass is doing. We do open B, 3, 2E, 3B. Alright, and it just cranks that out a couple times. Does it once more, and then comes up high and goes E string, 5, 3, 2 to 3B. Okay. Alright, and like I said, the bass is kind of just doing that same thing, just lower. So we're up here at our kind of initial riff spot where we go 2A, open G, 4D, open. Okay, and it cranks that out 3 times. And then finishes by doing the 2, open G, 4, open D. And then just starts the whole cycle over again. Other than that, we get to probably is what the most trickiest part here. If you want a capo at the 2nd fret, this might help, and then just do the opens higher up on other strings. So a little bit tricky, but if you're okay with a little bit of a stretch, you can get it. And some picking through arpeggiation here. So the B minor, we're going to pick through that. We go 2A, 4D, 4G, 3B, back the way we came, 4G, 4D. Alright, then we lift the 3 off the B to get the 2 that we're barring. Okay, back to the 4G. Then we lift up, make sure we have the open high E, and then walk the B down 3, 2. So slowly. Okay, so like I said, if that's kind of a pain and you want to just try playing around with like capoing the second fret, or just leaving some notes out and, you know, not worrying about keeping the bass note over the top of it, you know, you could do like, you know, just play around with it. You can, if you know, if you want to leave some notes in or out, it's up to you. Other than that, then we move to our F sharp minor look, which is kind of the same feel, just a little different here. We start with the 2E, 4A, 4D, 2G, back to the 4D, 4A. All right, and here's kind of where you can stretch if you can get it. We want this sus note where we go 1 on the G, and then we want this 4D, open B, and then walk the G 2 to 1. Alright, so try this. Alright. And like I said, play around with it, experiment with it, do what works for you. Other than that, we get another new kind of riff where we just hit the B minor chord, the 2A, 4D, and G up to 3B, hit, walk it down on the D, D open 2, 4A, and then just do that up at the F sharp. So hit the F sharp minor a couple times, walk the A, 4 open 2 to 4E, same deal, just shifting up to the lower set. And it goes through that a few times, and then eventually you can play around with a little bit of a lead thing here, just doing some octaves on the G and the E. So we'll start like at the 11 with the 14s. Alright, and we're just kind of hitting that, and this is pretty loose here. You can play around with this too. Hit them a few times down to the 9 and 12s, down to the 7 and 10s, 6s and 9s, walk it back up 6 and 9s, 7 and 10s, and then up to 9 and 12s. Just playing around with those different spots, walking them down, locking them back up. Other than that, it's a lot of the repeat of initial sections, and hopefully with that, you should be all set, and have fun.